Hey everybody, I'm Sierra Jennings. I'm a team leader with Usborne, and I am coming to you from my garage with all my Usborne books over there because I've got sleeping kiddos in the house. So I had to come out here so I wouldn't wake anybody up. I just wanted to share quick with you my 5 tips for running a successful Facebook party and getting bookings off of that Facebook party. These I cannot take credit for. I learned them all at convention. So go to convention. It was a game changer for my business. I came home, I implemented these things that I learned in this workshop, and my Facebook parties took off, and they had been duds before. I hated it. I hated Facebook parties. I thought they were awful. I thought I would never be good at them. And then I came home, implemented these things that I learned, and they took off. It was awesome. So the first thing I do is I have a phone call with my hostess, and I have her get me 10 yeses, 10 verbal yeses of friends or family who say that yes, the night of her party is a good time. I also tell her no mass inviting, absolutely no mass inviting. Your friends and family want to know that you thought of them personally. So what I have her do is I have her individually message each of her friends, and I give her these words. Hey girl, I'm having a party on February 9th at 9 p.m. It's going to be live on Facebook. Oh, excuse me. I should have said I'm having an Usborne Books party on Facebook on February 9th at 9 p.m. It's going to be live after the kids are in bed. You don't even have to leave your house, and you can come see these awesome books. They have fantastic stuff for teachers or for your 2-year-old or for your homeschooling. Whatever it is, that last line is to personalize that. And that's what you want to tell your hostess. That way, when they're sending out 30 to 40 of these, because that's how many they should be sending out, it's not as daunting. All they have to do is copy and paste and change one little line to make it personal for their friend that they thought of. The second one, tip number 2, I reward my hostesses for 25 yes RSVPs. So after they've got their 10 yeses, then I open the event. That is the time I open the event. I do not make my hostess a co-host. I just invite her. I turn on the guests get to invite friends function, right? She then invites the 10 people that gave her verbal yeses, and I tell her, go ahead and invite those 10 people, and go ahead and be inviting more people that you think might be interested. Again, no mass inviting. And make sure everybody knows that they need to RSVP yes, so that they can see the posts, or they won't be able to participate in the party. They won't get notifications for them. This is really important. If your guests aren't RSVPing yes, then you might need to go back to your hostess and make sure she knows to tell her friends that, so that they can RSVP yes and see the posts on the party and get notifications. I forgot to mention that the one thing I like to do for the 10 yeses is I like to give my hostess a deadline about a week out. And then that's when I follow up with her on those 10 yeses. And if she's got those 10 yeses, then I create the event and she invites her friends. Tip number 3. I ask my hostess if she knows of 3 friends who might like to host their own party. I usually do this the day of the party, and this is because I have already talked to her about, in my hostess coaching, I've already talked to her about her rewards for when she has friends that book their own parties after her party. So each month in our hostess rewards, our hostesses can get extra rewards if they have so many in sales plus a party booking, right? They'll see that when you send them the hostess reward flyer. They'll see that. But on top of that, I like to offer my hostesses this. And you can do this any way that you want with those extra free books that home office gives us. You can do this any way you want. But what I do is for every party booked from her party, I give her $10 extra in free books. If she books 3 parties if I book 3 parties from her party, I give her a very first reading set for free. Or whatever is equivalent if she has maybe, say, a baby or an older child, depending. She might not need a very first reading set. I only do this if her party hits $200, and I call this a qualifying party, and I tell her that from the very beginning so there are no surprises. And I mention it many times with your qualifying party. So when I ask her about those 3 names of people who she think might be good at hosting their own party, I ask her for those 3 names, and I say, that way I can be watching out for them tonight and message them and, make sure to ask them for their own party. And I will tell her to go ahead and message them as well and say, hey, you should totally do a party like I'm doing. I just thought you would be so great at this. Definitely complimenting them. And I mean, there's a reason she thought of them, and it's because they'd be a good hostess, right? Okay. Tip number 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Tip number 4 was that I reward for each party booked. So I give $10 in extra in free books for every party that she books, and a very first reading set for free. And some of you are going, oh my gosh, $70 is a very first reading set. I can't believe that. But if you think about it, the business that you are going to get from 3 parties booked, and I don't reward these until after those 3 parties have all gone through, right? And then that's when I give that first hostess her $70 reward, whatever it is, the very first reading set or something equivalent. That's when I give it to her, is after those parties have gone through and have booked. So, if you think about the money that you're going to be making off of her party and then 3 more parties, it is worth it, you guys. It is worth it. Okay, last tip is that we do the free book drawing. Okay, so this is what I learned at convention. Well, all of these are what I learned at convention, but this is awesome, okay? So instead of doing the free book drawing the night of the party, I say, don't forget about the free book drawing. Everybody who gets in their orders before midnight tonight gets an extra ticket in the drawing, yada, yada. I make this big deal out of it. I say, I'll be back tomorrow for that. So then it gives people a reason to come back to the page. They'll get another notification, all of that. I'm so sorry, I have a cold. And so they come back the next day, you post, and the winner is, and in the comments, you put whoever was the girl who participated most in the party. That's who I usually choose as my winner. You can do a random number generator. I just don't go to the trouble, because the thing is that the person who participated most in the party would have had the most raffle tickets and would have won anyway. Okay, right? So that's what I do. I pick my winner. And then in the comments, I say, and I have 2 runners up, and they are this person, and I tag them. I choose for my runners up 2 of the 3 people that my hostess gave me the names for. So that way I've got an in with them, because what I do then is I say, you 2 girls message me to claim your prize. They always message me. This way, they message me. I don't have to message them. I accept their message request, and I then offer them $30 in free books on top of their hostess rewards if they book a party within the next 3 weeks. That's what I'm offering my runners up. They always book. Sometimes, the party isn't a qualifying $200 party, because again, it has to be a qualifying $200 party. That's the way I do it. Sometimes, it cancels, but they always book to begin with. So it's just a really great way to get those parties rolling and get your calendar filled. Of course, you want to do everything to not get those parties canceled, but that's a way to get those parties on your calendar. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and so this is kind of a bonus tip, the night of the party, I message every single guest that RSVP'd yes, whether or not they were at the party, at the live party. I message them. If they were at the party, I say, hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let me know if you need help with your order. I was just wanting to ask if you might be interested in having your own Facebook party. Your friends would love these books, and you'd have so much fun. I put my hostess in the message with the customer, because I'm not friends with the customer on Facebook. I'm friends with the hostess. The hostess is friends with the customer. If I put both of them on there, it will go to the customer's inbox. If I were to just message the customer, it would only go to her other box. She may or may not see it, and she may or may not accept my message request. So this is really important that you put the hostess in the message with her. Give your hostess a heads up about this before the party. They're always cool with it. Then if they didn't attend the party, but they did RSVP, yes, I'll say, hey lady, I'm so sorry you couldn't make it to our party last night. We had so much fun, or tonight. We had so much fun. I totally get it. Things happen. Let me know if you need any help with your order. And I wanted to ask if you might be interested in having your own Facebook book bash. You get to earn free books and your friends will have so much fun. Okay. Emphasize the fun over free. This is a trick that Vicky, our lovely Miss Vicky taught me back at regionals last year. She says emphasize the fun over the free because they want to know that their friends are going to have a good time. So those are my 5 Facebook tips. I hope you enjoyed. Post any questions that you might have in the comments below. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.